Key part is, yo, Disney, I'm willing to give you this one props. That was gangster. You really got scar. I mean, like she got that like that cheek swole. Like, oh my God, I got slapped by the mouse in the mouth.
Alrighty. What do we got next? Well, continuing on the Marvel train, there was
somebody's running a train on Marvel, all right?
There were some rumors that came out this week about Marvel's first MCU Xmen movie doesn't need men. And when it says that, it's talking about the title Xmen, saying that Xmen is a out of generation title, because
men don't exist.
Because apparently it speaks directly of men, even though men doesn't necessarily even speak directly of men, as men can be used as a non-gender specific term. It has been for centuries.
I got the rant out ahead of time so I wouldn't lose my crap on the show.
Yeah, I know.
He had to listen to like a 30-minute rant of me getting the poison out so that I wouldn't freak out and about this. But I'll just simplify it as when you're offended by something out of context, you make yourself look ignorant. So you make yourself look ignorant.
It says the X-Men brand name has been in talks to potentially drop the men from the iconic team name for the Mutants MCU debut in order to be more socially inclusive. Recent comments have suggested that the X-Men is an outdated group name since many of the X-Men team members are women. They were near the beginning. Like, that hasn't changed. Like, it was always a diverse group.
Look, I understand the war on misogyny. I get it. I understand the war on the patriarchy. But here's the funny part. That's the war on misogyny and patriarchy. This isn't a war on patriarchy and misogyny. This is just you being really stupid about words and wanting to change a word because you think it'll mean something. But if we called it X-vaginas, that still wouldn't actually accomplish anything. Do you think if you change the name of the team, that's just going to make misogynists suddenly go, oh, wow, I get it? No, that's just dumb. Like, fight real battles. No, I'm not going to go on a rant. That's it. Just fight real battles. Like, this is not where you need to fight your battles. The X-Men has been led by women for a large chunk of its time. And honestly, I'm going to say it. Scott sucks, dude. I think Storm and Jean Grey and Rogue were way better team leaders. Like, I love the eras when the X-Men was led by the women because the women were vastly more competent. So I'm like, yeah, like, nah, man, like, yeah, what? Like, you're attacking possibly one of the most diverse hero groups that ever existed. It literally was an allegory for mistreated groups. With LGBTQ being very referenced, could you just try not being a mutant? That was a well-known line from one of the comics.
Yeah.
And can we send them someplace to fix them? This is one of the earliest representations of an alternative lifestyle and group that ever existed. And then one of the main members is Iceman, who is gay as hell. Like, it's like really.
Well, he wasn't gay until recent.
But boy, they went all in on it. He is
out.
I mean, the irony of Iceman being flaming is something else. But it was kind of hinted. I mean, it was a couple of little times in there they kind of hinted at it. But the whole group was an allegory for how they treated those people. It always was. It was a representation of minorities and LGBTQ communities and how they were treated by the government, how they were treated by their parents and families and society. It was always that. This isn't where you need to start to fight your battles. You won. It also is one of the, to me, I consider it the greatest the greatest comic in the world. Like, X-Men to me was the greatest comic book group, had the best heroes, best stories, spoke to me as a young black man massively all of my life. And I'm like, why are you fighting?
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole idea of X-Men was the fact that it's okay to be different.
Yeah.
Be proud that you're different. Utilize your differences to your advantage.
And to stand up for what you believe in about being different, even if the very government itself is against you. If it's even illegal to be the way you are, to stand up for yourself. The X-Men should be lauded and praised for what it did. Not picking one word and going, wow, men's in the title. I'm like, if that's all you see when you see the X-Men, then you're shallow and ignorant, and you don't know what they're about. You don't understand the struggle, and you don't know what they're about. So go fuck yourself. Because you don't know. No, you don't. You do not know what the X-Men are about if you look at them and go, this is sexist. Mm-hmm. The most powerful X-Men in the whole group were all women. Like, exclusively women. Rogue, Storm, fucking Jean Grey, who's possibly one of the most powerful characters in the whole goddamn universe. One of the most powerful forces, the Phoenix Force, female. It's like the X-Men was like, the dudes were backup dancers half the time. Yeah. Oh, Wolverine's here. Look, fucking Wolverine ain't shit, man. Rogue. Fucking Rogue. God, I like Rogue. But Storm is like, before we got the Queen of Wakanda. God, boy, she looked good too, man. I know, I love Angela Bassett. Oh, my God, she's a goddess. But, by the way, she was my desired Storm back when they did the first X-Men movie. I wanted Angela Bassett to play Storm. But, man, she was amazing. But before that, Storm was the queen bitch. She was a fucking regal, commanding, amazing black woman, leader of the X-Men, literally worshipped as a weather goddess. One of the greatest characters ever put in a comic. Woman.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, some of my favorite, the X-Men I liked the most were either, women or, not white, I mean, there was such a huge variety. It was almost impossible for you to go and have a top 5 and it not be relatively diverse. I mean, yeah, I was a fan of Wolverine. That's something I was a fan of.
And he was machismo personified.
But I also was like, I thought Bishop was cool. Oh, man.
Bishop was a badass, man.
And Storm.
Goddamn X-Men we showed up.
Storm was one of my top, man. Psylocke, she was always so badass. Yeah.
Because she was in and out of the X-Men, but Psylocke was a beast.
So I mean,
shit. And then Mystique, oh God, I love her. She's my favorite villain. Like, fuck Magneto, man. Like, Mystique.
So when you think X-Men, it's almost impossible not to think of a highly diverse group.
Literally, Magneto, one of the most powerful mutants in the world, Holocaust survivor. I don't know how you can get me on the nose to this. Like, and people try to bitch about Xavier. You mean the goddamn guy in a wheelchair? Duh. The leader of the entire X-Men is literally handicapped. You can't put this together. Oh, I forgot. You just see white guy because you're stupid. Literally, representation. So many really in wheelchair people cosplay him, and we see it, and it's just amazing. Because they're like, yeah, this guy was the leader of the X-Men, and he had a physical disability. I mean, amazing. There's like the least diverse character was also a fucking annoying Boy Scout. Like the only dude who was kind of like, no, Scott had the problem with his eyes. There's almost no Wolverine had massive mental issues. Massive mental issues.
I mean, he more falls into what you expect from like a vet,
PTSD, bipolar, nightmares, like walking nightmares. Yeah, he suffers from a shell shock and PTSD. If you actually look at these characters, Wolverine's toxic. Wolverine is a vet who was literally a soldier, effectively, that was abused and experimented on by the program he ran. He was also fucking, indoctrinated. Yeah, it's like if you take a look at the X-Men, they're super diverse. They represent what we do to our vets. They represent minorities. They represent diverse people that look different, handicapped. They didn't miss anybody. Whatever you are, there were literally characters that changed genders, morph. Like, what you got, buddy? Yeah. Throw it out there. I can point to the dude. You got a guy, I got a guy. You got a guy, I got a guy.
Jarek says Beast may have been one of the most well-adjusted. Yeah, and he was blue.
Covered in fur.
Came much later in the comics. He wasn't originally, like an animal. But originally he was just...
But he lost control of his condition and could not. In fact, the reason he turned blue is because he tried to fix it,
Yeah.
And it went bad because he didn't accept who he was. Oh, and I believe Forge was Native American. Bam, come at me.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah.
We got it all,
Yeah.
baby. We covered all the bases. Fucker. Oh, act like the X-Men ain't friggin' already diverse. X-Men some of the most woke crap. This junk was woke before you were a sperm.
Well, no, and
X-Men's been woke for years, and good woke.
But the thing is that is also the joy of X-Men is the fact you have all this diversity, you have all this, and it never felt forced. You know, people were embracing diversity without even knowing it. You know, I mean,
dude, so many white people I know say, like, you go, what's your favorite X-Men? Storm.
Yeah.
Like, without a thought. Woman, black, Storm. Who's the strongest X-Men? Well, we take out the Phoenix Force, Storm. Like, most people I know consider her the most powerful X-Man. It's like, just without a doubt. You look at, oh, Storm, man, she's got it. Yeah. You know, like, everybody's like a Storm fan. I never hear anybody go like, that there Cyclops. Oh, or like, oh, you know, Colossus. Man, Colossus was a dork. Which I love in the goddamn Deadpool movies.
Immigrant.
God dang it, you're good, man. Yeah, like, no, what you got? Come at us. Well,
what about
the homeless?
Storm also immigrant.
No. So, well, what you got? What about the disenfranchised and homeless? Morlocks, bitch. They live in a sewer. What you got?
Well, I mean, you also got the shifting dude with the swords and the tail. Nightcrawler, who was like an orphan.
Abandoned because he looked technically disfigured in appearance.
So,
crisis of faith. If you had faith, but you don't know what to think because people say you're literally the devil. They say I'm the devil because of the way I am, but I'm actually Christian. Nightcrawler, come at me. Come at me. Name a group. I'll pull it out for you. Oh, but men in the title, you don't know nothing about it. You ignorant. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Go find some. You want some racist stuff? It's in comics, dude. There's some fucking white privilege in comics.
Oh, yeah. No, dude. I mean,
super white privilege, but not the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, usually those were, I mean, they were in the X-Men, but they were in the X-Men as villains and
super villains.
Yeah.
And then they even covered
the masses that were against them and all that. Yeah.
But they even went against Magneto. Was not portrayed as like a hero. He was portrayed as an anti-hero to pure villain because while he was a group that had prisoners, his reaction was extreme, and he actually was counter-racist. They tackled massive topics. That's all I'm saying. We're going on too long on this, but all I'm saying is that, and I'm not trying to attack you. You know what? I'll take back the mean thing I said. Why don't you go read a few comics? You'll be shocked. If you're really wanting to see yourself represented, you will be pleased if you actually go back and read the X-Men from the beginning. You'll be surprised. If you want to fix something, there's places that I will completely agree you could put your hands on. But this is fine. There we go. Let's be rational. This is fine. You know, you're worrying yourself over nothing. Oh,
you know,
Oz, unintentional surprise butt sex? Is that smooth? The surprise butt sex in Oz was a very common occurrence until it stopped being a surprise and it was like, butt sex. You know, like there. Does that make it better?
Yeah, it does.
We're going to call it surprise. We're canceled.